Hello, it's Ricardo and welcome back to Battlestar Galactica Deadlock, Sin and Sacrifice, the last DLC in Season 1 of the Battlestar Galactica Deadlock RTS strategy game. Now, I'm currently playing a skirmish mission which is called the Battle for Knossos. I've got the Daedalus in place and quite a few ships. A Ranger, Manticore, Artemis, Minerva, and I've got a Jupiter class. Got quite a few ships on the go here. We've got them all stocked up. Got some Viper Mark IIs. The Rangers packing some nukes as well. And I got my Minotaur, my heavy gunship as well. So the heavy gunship, I mean, I'm getting to like that now. It sort of wades in. It takes a bit of damage. You know, I do like it. You know, it does lay down that heavy fire in close quarters. So we're going to jump into system. Eventually. And here it comes. So again, Slitherine Games done a fantastic job of the graphics on this DLC. They've also added a couple of updates as well. Veterancy, which we've spoken about in previous videos. Continuity of damage on the ships before they repaired. That's something as well. I suppose spawning from the Operation Anabasis DLC. So we can see our Cylons. They're the targets in the top right hand side of the screen. You can just see poking around. There they are. We're going to start to maneuver our fleet of ships towards them. Of course, with this game, everything is in the minutiae. The devil is in the details with this game. Technically, outstanding. When you first start to play it, you think, oh, this is so boring, this is so slow. When you start to play it, it really starts to bring out its addictive qualities. Plus, if you're also a fan of Battlestar Galactica, whether that be the 1970s version, or whether that be the Ron Moore version. That was coming up to its 10th year anniversary now, apparently. Here we are in 2019, from when it finally finished, the Daybreak episodes. You're going to love this game. You know, you can deploy Raptors, you can launch Vipers, you can use your battle stars to go out and give the Cylons a good pasting. You give those toasters a good pasting. You can launch missiles, you can set off flak, you can get your Raptor Marine Corps to board other ships, bolster the firewalls of ships, or just disarm ships. Really is quite good. So, I mean, I've been playing this a lot now. I do like a good bit of strategy. I mean, that comes from playing games like Command and Conquer and all that back in my youth. But to be fair, this game I think really does capture the Battlestar Galactica. Now, if you're a player who's looking for fast action and a flight simulator, this is not the game for you. This game is about the planning. If you move your Battlestar left, there must be a reason for it. To get a firing arc, deploy chaff, lay down some heavy fire. But if you move it right, and you shouldn't have, and you've got a lot of damage on the right side, you've got to be mindful of these things. Anyway, it's a strategy game. What am I going to say? What am I doing here? So, the guns are starting to open up now. We've got a couple of Cylons that are popping into view, into Daedalus range. Okay, the missiles are coming off. We're going to try and take off some of those bigger ships there, because they are a right plane. A right plane. Those Revenants, do you know what? They're tough little ships, and, you know, they're probably brought out to combat the Artemis-sized Battlestar, and as a result of this, they can take quite a pounding. They can also launch missiles, raiders. You know, they're tough. They really are tough. So, what I tend to do is split the group into two and make sure I've got a missile battery on each side of the group. As a result of that, then I can then, as soon as one ship from the Cylon force comes into view, or the enemy force comes into view, what I can do is I can set off those missiles at that ship by not effectively shooting my bolts with the other side of the battle group. They can lay down their fire as well. As more ships come into view, then I've got a missile silo, a missile battery that I can then fire off at the other ships to ensure that I'm laying down adequate fire at all times. So let's talk about Viper squadrons, right? So yeah, the Vipers. Launching Vipers. Launching Raptors. Now a lot of the ships have got an air wing that you can launch. And I'm happy with that. Some haven't, like the Minotaur. They just got guns. On every inch of that ship there's guns. Now the Raptors you can see here are very much from the Blood and Chrome pilot or standalone television movie that dealt with the William Adama timeline when he just became a pilot, got assigned to Galactica, got sent on a mission. There was Cylons, but he was flying not a Viper, but he was flying a Raptor, and an old Raptor, which they called a bus. Now this differed in quite a few ways, and I've done a video on the ships of Battlestar Galactica Deadlock as well. Got a window in the back, whopping great big spoiler. It looked 1980s. If I was to say something, it looked 80s, like, you know, big sort of Countach spoiler on the back of that Raptor. Now, it's one of those things, love him or hate him, I thought it was good. And you could see the natural progression of where this game is today, where it's based at around the Cylon War, very much dealing with the articles of colonization, and where Ron Moore's 2003 Battlestar Galactica reimagining was, with slightly newer versions of the ships. Yes, the Vipers were there was Mark II and Mark I Vipers and all the old stuff, and then there was the new ones as well, which we don't get the new ones in this game. But you do see some ships that have got an evolutionary path for them. For example, you got the Minerva, right, Battlestar, which is the predecessor to the Saturn class, which was the Pegasus. Of course, you've got Battlestar Galactica, which is a Jupiter class, which are new in this game, and there's only one for each of the colonies. That's part of the colonization, because they're such powerful ships, and it's bringing the colonies together to combat against the Cylon threat. Cool. But you've also got the Artemis class Battlestar, which is the 1970s Battlestar. Okay, so you get a bit of nostalgia there, and it's nicely brought in. You know, you aspire to get this old ship to want to then aspire to get the new Battlestar, which we all know from the television is the old Battlestar. But what you really want is the Pegasus. But that Battlestar and the Battlestar Galactica, it really does hold a good bit of nostalgia for you. So, in next seasons, what I hope to have in this game, I hope that the Battlestar Galactica, the Jupiter class, gets an upgrade throughout its life period. So if you get to control that in Season 2, there should at least be another missile battery or more guns or more powerful guns or something in it that's brought it up to speed as a viable piece of armament within the Colonial Fleet. I'm also hoping to see the Valkyrie class, which looked really sexy, to be fair. You know, it was modern, it was swish, it was all white inside, it wasn't dark, you know, it was a modern sort of iPod sort of version. And then of course you've got the Pegasus, which I think was very sort of like black and wood, you know, very sort of like early 90s sort of style and decor, lots of glass, opulence, the opulence of the Colonial Fleet. I think you'd like to see that in there as well, of course, with, you know, upgraded armaments as well. Of course, in here, the Minerva has only got 2 flight decks. The Pegasus, it's got 4. Top and bottom of both the engine pods or the flight pods on either side of the Battlestar. So these are the things I'm hoping we're going to see, plus an awful lot more lore. And there's an awful lot of fan fiction out there for Battlestar Galactica. There's an awful lot of other artifacts they can draw on, comics, fan fiction, all that sort of stuff, which I think would, you know, only benefit the galaxy. It's what becomes canon as well. So as you can see, I'm engaging base stars. There's 2 base stars that have jumped in here. You know, and a couple of other Cylon ships as well. I'm engaging there with my squadrons. Nuclear missiles, gotta fire your nuclear missiles off. Gotta deploy nuclear missiles, nuclear warheads are authorized. That's what it's all about. But engaging these battle stars, I tend to use a method that I saw in one of the movies, where you have 2 battle stars, or possibly 3 if you've got them. Probably a smaller battle star if you've got it, an adamant for example. And you circle the ship, laying down fire all the time, so it keeps the guns occupied, not just at one particular ship. If you just fly straight in there, one ship, you may supply one pass. We all saw that in in Battlestar Galactica when the Pegasus went in against all those base stars. It survived for a bit. They all managed to escape. Whereas they had the most success when the Pegasus and the Battlestar Galactica circled the base stars, laying fire down, so they couldn't get fire on one particular point. And I find that a very good tactic to deploy here, circling them, just so those guns can't concentrate on one particular ship, laying down the fire, laying down the missiles, getting missiles from the outside to shoot in, but most importantly, using those guns. Now, let's not forget about our other ships. Let's talk about the Raptor and the Raptor boarding other ships. Now, once they do, the Marines go in there and they start taking down systems, so degrading that other enemy ship. The Cylons do the same to the Colonials. They will send a raider war party towards you. If you don't get them with your Vipers, you're going to get boarded. Now, typically what I do is I keep a Viper squadron in defense of the battle stars, and the other squadron, if you have two of course, I then put on attack to attack any incoming squadrons that are being launched. And if you've got a Galactica, or if you've got another ship that launches Raptors by default, then I get them off to degrade some ships while fire's being laid down. So it's a very good tactic to deploy yourself. Fire the Raptor missiles at a ship, and air missiles, and then once you've done that, then what you do is you deploy your ship to board the enemy ship. You get in there, they start degrading that ship, makes things a little bit easier for you. Then, once they finish doing that, or you destroy that ship, recall your Raptor. Once your Raptor's been recalled to your hangar deck, and be careful with your hangar decks, make sure they're always available, because the Cylons will target them. Rearm, go back out, fire some more rockets, and then board another ship, degrade that. That's a tactic I have found has been working quite well, especially in Sin and Sacrifice. Now, it's been a while since I've played some of the other Battlestar Galactica DLC, but I'm going to go back and revisit those in a future series once I get past this particular story arc, which I've really, really enjoyed, it has to be said. So, here we are. Still got a few ships left. It's going on a bit, this mission. But fortunately, you've got the jukebox mode, as you can see in the top right hand corner, where I can select my skirmish music, or music that I'm actually playing to. There you go, base star has gone, another ship at the bottom has gone. I can now circle those ships back around, carry on laying down fire. I've got that Ranger in pursuit as well, really, and that Manticore. I'm going to swing that back around so I can start laying down some fire. They're all the Cylons now have taken a bit of a beating, and then that's not going to be long before this battle is going to be over. And I've lost one Battlestar, I've lost a Minerva, which is a shame because I had a double missile battery, able to hold on a hell of a lot of fire. Destroy, it's a capital ship destroyer. Double missiles, off they go. Two Viper squadrons, off they go, and also lay those massive guns down. I think, to be fair, if it wasn't for the slight lack of armour it's got against a Jupiter, it would be a far better ship. So here you go, I'm starting to circle that last remaining Battlestar now. As you can see, I've got my Minotaur in there, I've got an Artemis, I've got the Jupiter class in there as well. The Ranger and the Manticore Corvette is engaging the other Cylon ship at the bottom. I'm going to get that turn ended. Make sure all the guns are armed. I mean, the Cerberus that is at the bottom of the screen, the Cylon Cerberus, I mean, that's a right pain. But that base star is going up again, so that's the second base star we've destroyed. It's going to be a case of just mopping up now the other Cylon ships that happen to be in the vicinity. Once the Cerberus is destroyed, and it's virtually gone now, I can circle back around, still laying a little bit of fire on just in case, and turn my attention to the remaining lesser Cylon craft. Now my Viper squadrons are doing great guns, keeping them occupied and driving them out of the way of the main battle. And that I found is quite a good tactic. I've also got one of those Revenant class Cylon ships with a Raptor force on it to degrade it a little bit, which I think is absolutely brilliant. So again, that's Cerberus. Well, that's gone. We're taking a bit of damage. Time to circle back around with the bigger ships now through that huge debris field of two base stars, Cylon base stars that have been destroyed, and the other ships. We're going to focus our fire now on the remaining ships. Fire some missiles off at those Revenants. Ensuring that the focusing fire, so we're focusing on one particular target, we're lashing down the armour. See, his hull plating is virtually gone. The other Cylon ship, the Raptor force, is starting to engage us now. But I'm not too bothered about that. We've got some heavy artillery in the area. I'm not foreseeing any additional losses. So the Jupiter class, big, slow and lumbering. Getting to turn it around, get its guns to bear as well in support. We've got the Corvette, the Manticore Corvette as well, on its way, ready to lay down some gunfire. There's that Revenant gone. One left with our Raptor force on it, which we can recall. Get that back to the Jupiter class. The big guns of the Minotaur coming to bear. As you can see, I've got quite a bit of experience on this and veterancy, which are giving me some additional accuracy points with the guns. There goes the Raptor back. Bit of positioning now. Again, every placement of every ship has to have a meaning. You move it left, it's going left, and you have to deal with it to the end of that turn. If you don't fire flak, and they happen to be in close quarters and fire missiles, you're going to get hit. Everything has to be considered. And that ship has gone now, marking the last, I think, of the Cylon fleet that I've destroyed. Now I'm going to watch the replay now. I'm not going to talk all the way through it. Here it comes.
Squadron, on me.
Thrusters nominal, RCS green. I'm good to go.
Weapons free and by the numbers, folks.
Check your solutions before engaging. Switching zone to angle.
Sustain incoming sector 34. Set secondary battery. Full attack mode. Fire at will.
Optimizing fire. Escort clearance zone intact. Priority 1 is to stay in.
Nothing but the ring. We're taking sustained fire.
Mark incoming on priority 1. This is a hell of a storm, sir.
Target is 3-4 by 6-2. Not today, Tin Can.
Solution updated. Target activation maintained.
Come on, come on, come on.
Get him! Get him! Get him!
Reloading.
Intercepting!
Target acquisition is through. Give me manual controls now. We're gonna hammer the fraggers so they can't get back up.
We've got them now.
You'll need more than that to take them down.
So there you go. Thanks very much for watching Battlestar Galactica Deadlock, Sin and Sacrifice, available for release on the 19th of March, which happens to be today. Check out the other DLC as well, which marks Season 1 of the Battlestar Galactica Deadlock RTS strategy game by Slithering Games. I've been Ricardo. Thanks very much for watching. Like and subscribe if you've already done so. Check out more videos of Battlestar Galactica Deadlock and its DLC content on the channel. Hope you enjoyed it. Catch you in the next video.